Welcome to the Today Show Toronto. I'm your host, Jay Stoy, and you're in for a special show today. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be showcasing exactly what we do down here in Toronto, Witchwood Barn Studio. Come on in. We're all about employment programs for persons with disabilities and veterans. We're actually expanding. We've expanded now into the culinary sector, and we hope to expand into the music sector soon. So very exciting, lots of opportunities. You don't have to be disabled. You don't have to be a veteran to get involved, but that is our focus, the most vulnerable community, as I have an illness myself, and all of our staff. We either have a disability or an illness, and they all graduate, and they're all part of our production team, or we outsource them to our great associates like Cogeco, Bell, SiriusXM, or the Toronto Star. So today we're going to have a very special guest on. We're going to have a gentleman on by the name of Jay Draper, and he is a musician. He's a real good guy. And he's taking part of our employment program, which started, I think, a couple weeks back now. We have a few programs running, but this is focused on employment for persons with disabilities and veterans in media. So he's going to come on. I think he's had now his 5th class, just to get a little bit of experience. I want him to share what he is going through, not really his personal stuff, just business-wise, with our audience members, right? I want people to know that we want you to come in, we want to you enroll, we want to support you, we want to help you succeed. So when we come back, we're going to hear a little bit about Jay, and then we're just going to give a couple updates what's going on with the channel, including the leaves, stuff like that. So stay tuned. You're watching Toronto Jay, or the Toronto, what is it, Today Show Toronto. I'm Jay Stone. We'll be right back after these questions. Welcome back to the show. We're really excited today as we have on Jay Draper. Now, Jay is a participant from our employment program that started a few weeks back, and I think it's really important that we have our participants on the show if they choose, right? I know sometimes it's a little, a little nervous, but Jay was kind enough to say, yeah, I'll jump on, and I want him to tell our audience members and our viewers the process of joining our program and really how easy it is or how difficult it was, or so just explain to our viewers, Jay, the process.
Well, so I recently graduated from Seneca's digital media design program. I had done really well in the course, but I was having a lot of trouble finding work after getting out. I think over about the course of a year, I had applied to over 200 jobs in graphic design and motion design and video editing. And just wasn't hearing back. I had like 3 interviews, and I hooked up with a program called VPI. It's a government-funded kind of job placement program and a career counselor. And eventually, she turned me on to this program, showed me some info on it, asked if it would be something I'd be interested in doing, and some of it really jived with the kind of video editing and animation, and I'm into audio editing as well too, and all that kind of stuff. So I thought, you know what, I could do this. And I applied, and it was actually very, very easy to get in.
And how do you compare from what you learned at Seneca to what you're learning now? Is it sort of like a streamline? Was it totally different? Give us your feedback on that.
Well, it's still very early in the program, but I think elements like video editing, audio editing, maybe even a little bit of motion graphics, like lower thirds and stuff like that you see in interviews and news broadcasts and stuff, is stuff that really interests me. And plus, I like that it's a lot of hands-on experience, kind of real-world hands-on experience, and kind of broadens my toolkit, actually learning about camera work, grip work, I guess. And
well, more experience the better, right?
Yeah, on location shooting and things.
And how long was the Seneca course for?
2 years. It was condensed. It was, I think, 18 months or something.
Daily, 5 days a week, sort of thing?
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned something that after you graduated that you found it very difficult of finding employment. Now, is that employment because you wanted to go into that sector, obviously, the media sector, doing something either in front or behind the camera?
Yeah.
And And how do you, like, give me some feedback on why, because there seems to be lots of opportunities out there. I don't know about in the media world, like as far as jobs, maybe there's not, but is that what you found? There just wasn't the, like no jobs were being posted, or?
There's a lot of jobs posted. I mean, my focus was on a lot of graphic design work, but I was also looking into video editing and motion design work, and just eventually just trying to go for whatever I could. I was also looking into like digital matte painting and things like that. I just find, you know, it's this process of applying to like 5 jobs or 2 jobs or whatever it is daily, and you just never hear back generally. Like you can even see like on LinkedIn, they show if they've even viewed your application, and like 90% of the time they don't even view it, right?
So I wonder, because we are the disability channel and everybody attached to the channel has some type of, you know, either illness or disability or, you know, whatever you want to call it. And I'm wondering, did that element play into your employment? Like, did they know about your background that way or not really, Jay?
Well, I don't really. I mean, I guess if I have any main disability, it would be ADD. Right?
Yeah.
And I don't talk about that.
So so that had no bearing.
Probably not.
Probably not. That's interesting, because I know a lot of times, maybe not so much today, but in the past, as a person with an illness, that it really got in the way of getting hired.
Yeah. I mean, I also think for myself, I feel like I've gotten very good at masking it.
Okay.
And which can be a bit exhausting.
Well, hopefully you don't have to with us, right?
Yeah. But you know, I don't feel like I read as your typical ADD person, so I don't think that, I could be wrong.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, like I said, I think we all have a little disability, right? Everybody has a little disability from here to there. So getting back to your skill level now, what did you really take to? What do you really find that you like if you had different categories, what would you really like to sink your teeth into if you had that opportunity?
You mean here in the...
Well, overall, like, would it be editing? Would it be graphic design, audio?
Anything where I get to be creative. I know you don't always get to be creative. Like, it's just a lot of doing what you're told, kind of, especially in the beginning. But I love doing video editing. I love doing animation. I love doing graphic design. You know, anything where I get to kind of problem solve and kind of seemingly create something from nothing, kind of, right?
Why don't we take a quick break, and then when we come back, I want to ask you a little bit about your music background and how you've been interacting with the other participants in the program, if that's okay.
Cool.
Yeah, so stay tuned. You're watching the Today Show Toronto. I'm Jay Stoy, and we're here with participant from our class, Jay Draper, telling us all about, you know, the exciting new updates, what he's learning, how he's interacting, hopefully the future. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Dave Stevens with the Disability Channel.
An inability to break out. I'm sitting by the door on the 2nd floor, losing my 7-year war. It's not an illusion, so why the exclusion?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's about you. So.
You say you're a disability dynamo.
Joining me, and welcome to this beautiful Travelers Championship.
I only want one accolade from you.
So my story is unique, it's amazing, but it's not anything that you guys don't have inside of you. I'm not a hero, I'm not anybody special. I'm just this guy without legs that went out, and I just did it.
Stats outweigh the Democrats, the diplomats, and the bureaucrats.
This is probably your first interview down on the ground on your butt and stuff like that?
Time ever,
all
baby.
Right.
Eliminate and validate and validate and validate.
Stay with us and the Disability Channel.
Welcome back to the show. We're here with employment program participant and good friend, Jay Draper. He's part of our team now. And we were talking off camera that Jay has a lot of interests, and one really perked my interest, that he's a musician. So tell us about that, Jay. Tell us about your musician career a little bit.
Well, I mean, I'm a lifelong lover of art, and when I became a teenager, I got very into, you know, David Bowie, Pink Floyd, Nirvana, and I just, like, the bug bit me. And I, you know, as a musician, I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades. I sing, I play a little bit of guitar, a little bit of bass, a little bit of keyboards, but I'm in a band called the Scarlet Fever.
Yeah.
We've been around at least since 2010, I think, maybe even earlier. So live, I sing, and I'm very involved in the writing process with my guitar player and the rest of the band.
That's so great. I mean, you're the front man. You're the guy on the stage with the mic, and you're
crazy guy,
all the girls
jumping around. Oh, yeah. I don't know about that.
That's great, though, Jay. Now, tell us a little bit. How have you found interacting with your classmates here in the program? How has that been?
It's been great. Everyone's very personable, very easygoing, and
Supportive and kind, and
yeah.
And how about the teachers? How about the facilitators?
They've been awesome too. Yeah, it's just been a great, so far at least, a great experience all around.
Well, that's great. I really appreciate you saying the kind words, and I'm really happy that you're in the program, and we're going to do everything to make you one of our many success stories.
Hopefully.
Yes, absolutely. That's what we're here for. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to come back and talk a little bit about the channel, what's going on, some updates, maybe talk a little sports, talk a little music. You're watching the Today Show Toronto. I'm Jay Stoyan. We'll be right back.
All about inclusion and really giving everyone a fair say.
Welcome to the Today Show. This is our flagship show. I am Unstoppable Tracy.
I am Zach Damon.
It is a pleasure to be here. I am excited. What is up?
We have a great show today.
Jay Stoyan here for the Disability Channel, the world's only inclusive channel for and by persons with disabilities.
Get ready to be inspired, everyone.
We have people watching from all over the world, but also all over Ontario.
We also take a concerted attention in the veterans community.
In moments of stress and trauma, we can get a hold of ourselves.
To help make a difference for people with disabilities, to show people how to love themselves or their disability.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me, giving this platform for myself and other people with disabilities.
Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this episode of the Disability Channel Detroit. Please tune in next time.
Welcome back to the show. Wow, that was really nice. I really want to thank Jay for being on. It's really important that our new participants, our new classmates, showcase the process of what it takes to go through. It's very easy, very positive, very supportive. So again, if you want to enroll in our programs, all about getting off assistance, either part-time, full-time, getting a job in media, either in front of the camera or behind. We also do a lot of administrative work. And like I said, we can do the culinary. We're entering the food sector now. We're going to be entering the music sector, which I'm going to talk to a little bit about, and also obviously supporting the veterans, right? So we're all about supporting the community. Let's talk a little bit about what updates are going on here in Toronto, but this also applies to Halton because our employment programs run right across the GTA. We have an office out in Halton at Tech Place. Actually, I live in Burlington, so I'm very hands-on. Right now we're in Toronto, so we also have a big contingency here in Toronto. So it's all about our employment programs for persons with disabilities right across from Toronto, Mississauga, Oakville, Burlington, Hamilton. We're up north a little bit and we're expanding. So make sure you enroll, give us a call, let us know what's going on and we can help you. Speaking of Burlington, we're now dealing with a pub called the Black Swan. Very well-established pub. They go all the way back to the days of Toronto. I think there's still Black Swans in Toronto, but We're working with the 3 pubs out in Burlington with the Daves right on Brand Street. We're going to do some special things, and they actually have Yuck Yucks right above. So hopefully at the Black Swan, we're going to be doing our music show called Wild Child Records. We're going to be interviewing mainstream superstars, independent and emerging artists. We're going to be doing Q&A, as we're going to be bringing in some heavy hitters, whether that would be a producer, a songwriter, a guitar player, an engineer. So a Q&A, we're going to be doing a little bit of Q&A. You can ask some questions, like a free consultation there. And then we're also going to be having, hopefully, open mic, right? We're going to be open mic, so open up to all the emerging artists to come out and practice your craft. And CD release parties. We have a lot of bands that are looking now, since COVID's over, they're looking back to get out. They probably created new music for over 2 years in their studio because no one could play. So now everybody's ready to get out there. Let's do some recording. So again, we'd love for everybody to come down to the Black Swan, enjoy some music. They have great food, great people. You know, learn a new skill, have some music. So and we're also going to be doing it here in Toronto. I think what we're going to do in Toronto, though, is just to flip the subject a little bit. We're going to be doing town halls. I think that's the way to go. Get the politicians in here, get high-profile people in here, have the audience in here, have the audience ask the leaders questions. I think that would be great. Speaking of town hall, I know there's a town hall tonight on CNN. Oh my goodness. CNN is entertaining Donald Trump in a town hall tonight. Wow. I don't know how that's going to go, but I'm sure going to be a lot of fireworks about that. But speaking of fireworks, we got the Leafs tonight. Game 4, and they're down 3-0. They could be in for a sweep tonight, and if they do, there has to be major changes to the top 4. Let's just go through the top 4 a little bit. Austin Matthews hasn't scored in the series. Mitch Marner hasn't scored in the series. John Tavares hasn't scored in the series. William Nylander hasn't scored in the series. How much do these guys make? $40 million plus. They all, well, Nylander's a little under, but when you average it out, it's over $40 million for our superstars that are letting us down. When Sam Lafferty is the best guy on your team that night, who's a 4th line player, doesn't say too much. I got to give it to Morgan Riley. He really did step up, right? He has stepped up, but the other guys you can see, Giordano, he's having a tough time. TJ Brody, tough time. Justin Hall. Now our leading goalie is out. Samsonov's out. But I like Wall. I think Wall can do it. But I mean, we got to win 4 games straight. I mean, how could you put yourself behind that 8 ball like that? 4 games straight you got to win now. And we're in Florida tonight, so I guess one game at a time. I'm not too sure. Let's move it along a little bit. If anybody out there has some, is interested in sports or muscle cars, there's lots of opportunities here to join our team. We're looking for people to get involved in our sports department along with our car department. We're also looking to hear back from some pretty heavy hitters, one being Carla Quattro regarding the veterans. We want to take our veteran program federal like we are doing here in Ontario. So it's very important that we talk to the Veteran Affairs, we talk to Carla Quattro, get this ball rolling. I also would like to talk to Carolyn Mulrooney, who is the Minister of Transportation, as we have a fabulous accessible proposal for CAA in our community. We look forward to expressing our views and our vision to the Minister. What else is going on? Oh, I just want to give a big shout out to our friends at SiriusXM, Belai and Joe, wonderful people, always on the air, always showcasing what we do. Actually, right now what we're doing is we'll be showcasing clips from our interviews with our mayor candidates. So listen on channel 167, you're going to hear short clips regarding the questions we're going to be asking the potential mayors. Speaking of that, we've had some pretty good candidates in. I think we've interviewed, I'm going to say about maybe between 6 and 8 now. There's a lot of them. Hopefully we're going to interview a few more. kind of impressed, maybe impressed with a few more than others, but I have to say they're all taking what they're doing seriously, it seems, and maybe it's time for some new faces at City Hall, right? I mean, John Tory was there I think he was going to go for his 3rd term now, but I think it might be time. But I hope these people, whoever gets in as the new mayor of Toronto, really listens to the people, really listens, because here's why. The public live life every day in the trenches. A lot of them don't have a silver spoon. They have to go to work. They have to go on a transit. They have to take care of their family. They have to watch their budget. Those are the people that can really give good insight on how a city should be run. And I just hope that whoever the mayor is takes that to heart and really gets the people of Toronto involved, because they deserve to be. They deserve to be. I also want a couple other big shout outs to Stu at Kojiko and Your TV. Hopefully we're going to be getting back into the studio of Your TV and filming our show there. It'd be wonderful. We were just about to do it, obviously, before COVID hit and everything went sideways. But things are going back now. Things are getting back to normal. So we're just waiting for that date where we can get into the studio and do our Halton show from Burlington. It's going to be very exciting. What else? And you can check us out on Bell. We're on Bell 168, actually, Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. Check us out there. So lots of stuff going on. I want to give a big shout out to Jess and Nick for keeping it real with Nick. Hopefully they're going to be doing some shows showcasing entertainment through Down syndrome. Wonderful people. I love Nick and Jess. They're great. So big shout out to them. Give a big shout out to our love down in the USA with Kurt Roscoff with our Today Show in the USA. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the USA. We haven't really talked about them, but we have some great friends, great associates, great people down in the USA, all the way from Donna Russo out in LA, who does our LA show. She has wonderful guests. She had a wonderful guest on the other week who has a hotel chain, and this whole focus is accessibility within the hotel chain. Really interesting interview. So again, I want to thank Donna. I want to thank Kurt and his team for, that's our generic Today Show with Sue. They do a wonderful job there. They are networking junkies. They know everybody across the USA, so they're wonderful people. They get the word out for our station, for our employment programs. If there is state, local, city, federal down there in the USA, if you guys are listening right now, we'd love to bring our employment programs down to you, right? Down to you. We also want to give a big shout out to our music world. I think what we're going to do actually is when we take a commercial break, which is just coming up, I think we're going to be showing some of our most favorable, I guess, music clips. I think that would be good because we always do the music clips and they're always for fundraisers, right? So we always do a lot of fundraisers, a lot of events, and I think it's good to showcase the musicians that help us because they're wonderful people. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. I got a few more notes, a few more messages to give, and that'll be a wrap. So stay tuned. You're watching the Today Show Toronto. I'm Jay Story. welcome back to the show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. I'd like to thank our guest, Jay Draper. Again, regarding our employment programs, it goes right across the GTA. So we have offices in Toronto, Mississauga, Oakville, Burlington at Tech Place, Hamilton, and somewhere scattered throughout the USA, but mostly the GTA. So we really want to encourage people to enroll in our programs, and we will try our best to either hire you or get you a job. If people want to find out more information on the channel, you can go to www.thedisabilitychannel.ca. And if you want to be a guest on the show, we would love to have you. Join us on all social media feeds. We're on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, all over the place. SiriusXM, our show. So again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. You're watching the Toronto Today Show. I'm Jay Stoyan. We'll see you next time.